Hi guys, I want to share this happening with you because it actually happened today, and it's probably, I would say, one of the most explosive and amazing sessions that I've done in a very long time, which involves like intuitive reception and healing. I am the founder of the Fusion 7 Healing Mystery School. I do teach healing and I do facilitate sessions and readings for people too. So before I actually disclosed what happened in this session, I'd also like to say that after the development and the teaching of the cosmic law ceremonies, I would like to say, and this is truth, that I feel that my intuitive abilities have kind of perhaps stepped up a notch, and all of the sessions that have been taking place upon the completion of the cosmic law ceremonies seem to be more potent in a way that they have never been before. So that's the first thing that I wanted to share with you. And then we get to today. So today I had a young man who came for a session, and I always ask at the beginning of the session, would you like me to go straight? You know, do you want to ask some questions or fill me in and I can just go straight and start doing the healing? Or would you like me to do an intuitive investigation for you? So he chose the latter. He wanted me to do a reading, like an intuitive investigation for him. So that's what I began to do. So I basically connected to his space, and as soon as I did that, I started to experience palpitations and a lot of discomfort between my solar plexus and my heart area. I'm not usually affected like this, so that was quite odd for me to be responding in an empathic kind of manner, so to speak. And so I was having palpitations, and immediately an older gentleman came through, and he'd obviously passed over. It felt as though it was very recent. It was quite fresh. He didn't understand that he was actually dead. Like, he was looking around him, not knowing what was going on. He felt that there was chaos, and he couldn't actually believe that he had passed over. He was in a state of shock, and I can sense, see and feel him kind of holding his head and saying, it wasn't my fault, it wasn't my fault, it had nothing to do with me. I felt that he was still on the earthly realms and that he hadn't actually passed on to the higher realms, that he was definitely kind of parading these realms and definitely seeking justice. He showed me his ID with his name on it, telling me that he wanted his name to be cleared. That was, you know, very, very strong, something that came through. He wanted his name to be cleared. He also told me to let the young man who was seated in front of me to know that he actually knows who did this to him, and that it was actually murder. He was murdered, and the person that performed this atrocious act was somebody who was acting as a very dear friend. So the guy who actually murdered him was sort of a bit of a Judas, basically, pretending to be a very dear friend. And the guy that had passed over expressed to me how angry and outraged that he was with himself for not being able to see it, for not being able to heed the warnings and to trust this person so blindly, and couldn't believe that somebody so close would do something like this. So he was double-crossed and felt that he was backstabbed by this individual, who didn't actually pull the trigger, by the way, but he is the common denominator that allowed this to happen. So it was plotted, okay? So the good friend that is responsible, that he feels is responsible, was the plotter and not the actual person who performed the murder in itself. And so I gave all of this information to my client, and he confirmed all of the above to be true. I was also given the name of the friend or the plotter, which obviously I'm not going to share with you guys, but I shared the name, and both our drawers dropped, and I actually dropped my notes and my phone at the time because I was so shocked that the culprit and the person that's responsible for this heinous act, that the name was actually revealed to me and confirmed to me by the client that was seated there in front of me. So that was, you know, definitely some jaw-dropping stuff right there. I also received information by the ones that were in charge of actually performing the act itself. And I was shown, I wasn't given names for that, but I was shown they weren't native, that they were from another country. And I was able to disclose the region that they are from, that they don't have olive skin like us, you know, here on this island, that they are, you know, perhaps from a colder region of the world. And this was also again confirmed by my client. The fact that the man that was coming through that had passed over wanted justice and wanted to clear his name was also validated and confirmed by my client, because it was something that the man that had passed over was actually trying to do for years whilst in life, to clear his name and seek justice, and he wasn't actually able to do that. I was actually also shown that his heart was very big, and he was actually a good guy, you know, at the deeper level kind of thing, but just kind of was involved with some people perhaps that he shouldn't have been. And again, all of this was validated by my client that was seated there in front of me, whose eyes would well up over and over again, and there was some shivers and some chills at the accuracy of the data as it came through. And as you guys may well know, I'm not a medium, which means I allow a being or a spirit that has passed to actually enter my personal space. I don't actually allow that, but there is a telepathic communication, and it works in a very similar way. So the data that came through was very precise. And then he also gave me some instructions to give to my client as to how to proceed in terms of dealing with the case legally, and also how to deal with the family. He expressed very deep remorse and regret for his behaviour, his actions, and for perhaps exposing the family to danger in certain ways, and was actually guiding my client to beware and to be careful, not to be sidetracked, and not to be pulled into or lured into a similar trap that he was himself. And so all this was very valuable information. I was also shown by the gentleman that had passed over that the investigation that's being carried out about the murder, the officials are actually looking in the wrong direction, and it may take them some time to get to the true culprits of the situation. And so the gentleman that passed over was guiding my client how to proceed in order to guide the officials into the right direction in order to expose the truth about who did what. So in a nutshell, this is what came through. Wanted to share it simply because it was so powerful, and the message is so profound that I have never experienced it at that level before, you know, with such accuracy and such detail, naming names and areas and location, and basically disclosing the true nature of this murder and the murder investigation. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Sharing is caring, so I do hope that you pass it on. If you're watching on Periscope, don't forget to follow me there. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your comments. Look forward to connecting with you again real soon. So for now, take care, be well. May Primary Source may always be with you. And of course, may the absolute immutable truth always be the guiding force that is with you. Peace out.